He started knocking.
I heard the knock.
Gang?
You have no right to be here.
Is someone touching you?
He's just touched my foot.
Prove that you're here.
Will you show yourself?
It deserves the title. It's haunted.
Nestled in the centre of London, the Viaduct Tavern is renowned for its hauntings and apparitions. The Viaduct Tavern holds chilling tales, ghostly encounters and mysterious a pub in an eerie mystique. Customers claim that multiple spirits roam this venue. Sometimes they make drinks disappear and electronics start out of the blue.
When you actually walk in, the anticipation in your gut is there. You're fired, you're ready to go. And then you just sit back and wait for it to happen.
Our paranormal team embarks on a journey seeking answers to one question. Could the Viaduct Tavern be one of Britain's most haunted pubs? Underneath the beautiful venue in the dark basement, prison cells still stand. These cells witnessed countless stories of lawbreakers, from petty criminals to more serious offenders. Nearby, the Old Bailey also echoes with untold anguish and sorrow from its previous incarnation. It is built on the site of Newgate Prison, one of England's most notorious lockups. The pub was also in operation when the last public hanging took place outside Newgate Prison in 1868. With a thirst for the morbid, people would pay considerable amounts of money for a table that overlooked the execution square. The pub's manager, who used to be a skeptic, has had his own eerie encounters, solidifying his conviction that the Viaduct Tavern is indeed haunted.
I didn't believe in ghosts. Now, I believe this place is haunted. Just very weird things happen. I've got a few stories. Only in 8 weeks that I've been here, it's just random things happened. On a Thursday, we do the delivery, so we come quite early. We come at 6 in the morning, and I was just doing the line clean, so I wouldn't go to the toilet at all. The hand dryer was keep running for some reason, like every 5-10 minutes. I got a bit nervous and I just went outside for like 20 minutes to grab a coffee, calm myself. 2 weeks ago, I was with my deputy having just a drink after work, and we heard from the toilet if someone was running like towards us, and in front of us just stopped. So we were looking at each other like, what's going on? So there is a couple of stories that had happened. I'm not sure what to call it, but definitely something there.
To the spirit energy in the room, thank you for allowing us to come into your space, into your home.
My name is Jackie Gilmartin and I am one of the mediums for South East Paranormal team. So I've actually been investigating as a paranormal investigator for 50 years now. I was about 3 or 4 years of age and I had an experience when I was in bed, and it intrigued me. And growing up, I could just see people that other people couldn't see.
My name is Nick McLernan and I'm a paranormal investigator within South East Paranormal team, but I'm also a medium within the team. When I was really, really young, I found that it intrigued me phenomenally. I lived in a really old council house that was stone built, and I was very aware that I felt things were happening around me that weren't the normal, shall we say. So from about 5-6 years old, I've been interested.
My name's Daniel. I'm a technician for the South East Paranormal team. I was first attracted to the paranormal when I was a child. We lived in a haunted house, and I had several activities that happened around me which piqued my interest. And then I kind of blocked it out and then started again around 6 years ago.
Even before sunset, the venue has the same creepy feeling. Ready to conduct a series of experiments, the paranormal team heads upstairs.
We always do a bit of calling out in any room that we'll go through to. So using a bit on the top floor and then coming down a floor and entering what used to be a kitchen, doing some calling out there is kind of where we'd always start an investigation in a new area within the venue. Give us a little knock.
If you can do this, let's set that off if I tap that.
You shouldn't do them. If you keep like
Can you do that? Can you do that? Listen. Once for yes, twice for no.
No.
Twice for no.
Yeah.
Well, you did do that, so thank you very much.
Well done. Well done. That was brilliant.
I loved the calling out. So when you're calling out, it can be really frustrating because you don't hear back in real time what the responses are.
The darkness has settled. With the help of a spirit box, the team continues the investigation on one of the upper floors of the venue, calling out the paranormal entities that might be present in the room.
For me personally, during the calling out episodes within the venue, there would be names that would sort of be, it sounds a really strange kind of explanation, but being a medium, you're not always going to get a full sentence or a massive story. You'll get drip-fed pieces of information, so occasionally it might be a colour, it might be a number, it might be a couple of words, but quite often it's names. And the names that I was given were the ones that I could call out with, and some of them got a reaction and then others didn't, and then we try them in other rooms and sometimes get a reaction in both rooms, or one that might not have worked upstairs worked downstairs.
Come forward and give us your name. Don't be shy, come forward. Let us know your name. If you're the young girl that was stood in the doorway giggling, come forward. This must look very funny to you.
Can you move something off the table? You can make the light flash. Get ready. Get ready for what? So you told us to buckle down and you told us to get ready. What for? There's someone there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's someone there, Dan. That's...
Will the... Sorry. Will the hunter's camera on the stair pick it up?
The hunter's camera's facing upwards, so I can change it round. So I change it round.
Do you want to...
Yeah. Could you go to that one?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can you tell us your name? Give us your name. Then we know who we're speaking to. All is what we see inside.
So, in the old days, the expression would it have had a different meaning?
What do you mean it's not what it seems is? What do you mean by that?
Thank you. I'm almost seeing a row of old coppers struck in the cells.
I wonder whether they used to train them up.
The spirit box is phenomenal. I love it. It's like a radio, but backwards. So when you turn that on, you get what everybody knows as white noise. So what we do is we call out, and the responses, so particularly at the Viaduct Tavern, clearly I heard a name. I thought it was Annie, so I'm going to leave that there. But Dan said there was a record of a woman called Fanny that lived there. And then Dan asked me, ask her what age she is, and I say, what age are you? And out of the voice box, it says 27. And Dan said she was 27.
The team decides to take things even further. With anticipation running high, they move to the bar area where they create the perfect setup for a Ouija board session.
As daft as it sounds maybe, as a team we don't always use an Ouija board that often, so it's actually quite nice to have that much kind of energy built up around it, and especially with it being somewhere that we'd not been before.
What people forget is an Ouija board was originally a Victorian toy, and then Sir Arthur Conan Doyle found that there was a way that you could communicate with spirit with it, and that's how it became used in the paranormal world. So when you see people using Ouija boards and they just get the board and do whatever, and you're like, why? So the proper way to use an Ouija board is you've got your sitters, you've got your medium, and the person that is going to open the board. So the board is opened with an opening prayer.
I open this board with a blessing of a ring of protection for the people using this board. And I ask the spirit energy that comes through to be kind, courteous, and harm no one. We mean you no harm. We come with the greatest respect. Now open this board, amen.
Amen.
So once it's opened, before it's opened, anyone can touch it. Once it's opened, the only person touching it is the person that is operating the board. Then what we do is, if it's me operating the board, I invite whoever to the board. They then touch the planchet, and we proceed with that session of the Ouija board.
Dan, I invite you to the board. Nick, I invite you to the board. Rose, I invite you to the board. To the spirit energy in the board, build yourself up.
When using the Ouija board, the name Fred came up, who was actually named Robert. That also come up, who apparently likes scotch.
And I ask the spirit energy within the room, to the spirits that roam this bar, to the spirit entity that drinks people's beer, come and make yourself known. Chink a glass for us.
It's getting hot in here again. It's weird, isn't it, this building?
Can you chink a glass for us?
Oops, sorry.
That was. I think it's B.
Rob.
So you Robert?
Or did you rob? Did you rob drinks? Yes or no?
Is this the Robert that doesn't like to be called Fred?
Yes.
Robert, this is you. Thank you for joining us. What was your favourite drink?
Not this.
Oh, sorry.
Salt. Yeah.
That's going to go shopping.
Scotch.
Yeah.
Which version did you spell like?
Let's see. There you go.
When we've finished, the board is closed down with a closing prayer, put away, and it's harmless. And this is a problem that we have with so many people. I can't tell you how many places we've been where people have got either problems in their home and they go, oh, but I'm using a Ouija board, without knowing the correct way to use one. So that's how we use one. That's what we believe is the correct way to do it. One person opens and closes the board and you're invited to the board. It's not a free-for-all. You have to respect the tools you're using, because at the end of the day, a paranormal investigator's toolbox, that's part of it. Without all the other equipment, it's a tool that we use, and every workman respects their tools, and that's what people should do with your Ouija board instead of being irresponsible with it.
As the clock strikes midnight, it's time to descend into the basement for the last part of the investigation. In the dark and damp underground chamber, the investigators aim to strip away their senses and open themselves up to whatever paranormal energies may be lurking below. What will they discover in the darkness of the Viaduct Tavern's basement?
When we do the sensory deprivation, it's earphones and noise cancelling earphones on top. There is a blindfold. We would remove as many sensors as possible, and you've got somebody that quietly calls out, and then ideally you've got the spirit box that's playing white noise and you're listening for words or numbers or a sentence that comes through. It's not very often that you get a full sentence, I'll be honest, but if you get a name or what could be an acknowledgement, you kind of shout out the noises or the words that you're given, and then somebody on the other side is writing that information down. Sometimes you feel like you're absolutely off your rocker because some of what you're shouting out, you don't actually know whether there's any relevance to what somebody outside is calling out. So yes, sometimes you feel a bit like surreal and that it's not quite right, but usually you get a bit of a marry-up of information. So yeah, the sensory deprivation is always a really good one, especially with members that don't particularly like to call out very much.
Are you a man?
Dying isn't a sin.
Says who? Who was dying?
Drop me.
Don't drop me.
Or it could be a noose. Don't drop me down.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Can you tell us your name then?
John.
Are you in Newgate? Are you in the Compter?
I'm here.
It's not helpful.
Ludgate?
I'm here.
Where is here?
Are you in the Compter?
No.
Are you a prisoner?
Yes.
Are you in Ludgate?
No. God, they're coming.
Who's coming? Who's coming?
The governor.
Do we need to hide you?
I'm not scared.
Normally, when you do the sensory deprivation, however you do it, whatever level you do it to, you are normally given quite a lot of vocal acknowledgement from the spirit box. On this occasion, for me, it was a lot more physical, so I kept feeling that I was being jostled. I kept feeling that I'd got to reach out for something. At some point, I felt that somebody was saying there was something on my feet, and so I remember leaning forward thinking, I don't know if I want to touch what's laying over my feet, but it feels like there's something there. So for me, it was a lot more physical than vocal, but normally it's quite a vocal experiment.
How many people are behind me?
No one.
Who's underneath me?
No one.
Is this him asking, or is it spirit?
Who's asking these questions? What's your name?
Feels like I'm underwater. Hello? Hello?
After a full night spent in the mysterious Viaduct Tavern, the investigators have found enough evidence to come to a conclusion.
I would go along with its haunted, mischievous, playful spirits. I think you would see things if you were a customer and it was your first time in the venue. I think occasionally you'd get the kind of side eye of something coming round you or a sound that you wouldn't expect to hear.
Nestled among the stunning Welsh landscape, the Skirrid Inn has a history steeped in mystery and phantoms. Known for its eerie legends, ghostly encounters, and centuries-old secrets, this venue earned its reputation as one of Wales' most enigmatic establishments. This ancient inn has seen its fair share of turbulent times, serving as a gathering place for weary travellers, rebels, and even condemned prisoners en route to the gallows, as it was once used as a courthouse. The inn was also used to judge George hanging Judge Jeffreys. He ordered for at least 182 men to be executed at the Skirrid Inn.
I think the natural history of the location, the venue, the build itself makes it have a reputation before people necessarily go. I think there's been so much coverage on TV and press about alleged hauntings or carry-ons that go on there. And I think there's been so many teams that have been there to the Skirrid that it's always one of those places that's kind of shouted about and as a bit of a benchmark for definitely getting some paranormal activity when you go for an investigation.
The rope marks on the oak beam in the stairwell can still be seen. People who were hanged at the Skirrid Inn had bad luck. Being hanged on the gallows provided an instant death, since the hatch would be opened and the neck would snap. There was no hatch at the inn. People were pushed off the steps and choked to death slowly. It is said that the ghost of Fanny Price, a female bartender and landlady who died in the 17th century, is still present at the Skirrid. She died in the inn's smallest bedroom at the age of 35 of consumption, and she still walks around the inn as if she still wants to keep an eye on it, taking care of guests. But could the Skirrid be one of Britain's most haunted pubs?
It takes a lot to convince me that a place is haunted. I need to see it, I need to experience it. So the very first time I investigated it, it was with apprehension, because you're going in there and you know it's been done so many times and there's so many write-ups that you try to avoid because you don't want to go in there with somebody else's investigation in your brain. From personal experience, in room 3 is definitely Fanny Price. She was a previous landlady. Through previous experience, we've come across energies. We can't absolutely conclusively say it's Judge Jeffreys, but there is something there. We've experienced it, we've recorded it, we know it's there.
As night descends upon the ancient Skirrid Inn, our paranormal team gears up for a night of thrilling investigation, starting their search by calling out to all spirits in the venue.
To any spirit energy in this room with us? Is there any criminals? I'm going to come and sit at the table with you. Look, look in my hands.
Dan is the most eager to be the one to do the deprivation experiment in the small prisoner's room, so he's blindfolded and his ears are covered.
Dan likes to do the deprivation, and it's really bizarre because Dan's not easy to, you know, he will pull everything apart before he'll go, okay, yeah, that's paranormal. However, when he does the deprivation, he seems to go into like a trance-like state, and he hears things that we don't.
Woman spies a pink cat.
You know my name.
This side. Feeling. Sunday.
What are you feeling?
Don't touch me. Stop touching me, please. I'm south. Now.
How many people with you?
Too much.
Do you haunt this building? Do you haunt this building? Are you a poltergeist?
On his thoughts? I think it's dead.
I've become a little bit disorientated, as I have done in the past with that experiment, and some of the answers that I gave did match the questions asked.
In the eerie atmosphere of the first floor, they plan out an intriguing experiment, table tipping. The energy in the room is palpable as the team places their hands gently on the table, hoping to make contact with the restless spirits that are said to dwell here.
If we go through table tipping, it's basically we have a group of people, it's usually 3 or more if possible, although it does depend on the size of the table. We would go through and make sure that the table is as secure to the floor and flat as possible, so it's not got a natural rock. The pub tables are really good because they've got a bit of weight to them, so if they do start to move, you've already got the idea that it's something that's got a little bit of power or energy to it to be able to make it move. But you, or I, if I'm hosting it, would call out and try and build some energy. You try and touch fingers with the person at the side of you and keep the energy flowing. Sometimes it's a little bit easier if you ask a spirit to come and stand between somebody so that we can feel that there's something there. But we then ask the energy to be put into moving the table. So whether it's a little judder side to side, whether it's an up or down, whether it's around like a steering wheel, we just ask for some energy to be put into the table so that people can feel it. And sometimes you're going to get amazing results, and then sometimes you'll get just like a little pulse that runs through. And again, if you've got people that are not used to it and you get a pulse and people can acknowledge that, sometimes that can then breed enough energy that it goes a little bit further.
So if you are a spirit that's listening and lurking, come forward. You can use all the energy that is in this room to give us an acknowledgement, but you are not allowed to harm anybody. We come with the greatest of respect.
Oh my God.
We come with the greatest of respect, and I expect the same from you, Jackie.
Oh my God. As you was talking, right in the middle, you had a full face to the chest. A full face up to the chest. It was definitely female.
Between Daria and me.
Between you two. It just came and went.
Do you see anything, Daria, because you reacted? Because you reacted to
I just
Jackie?
felt like cold in my hands.
Okay.
It was like a charcoal grey. It was like a charcoal grey, very light grey, not as dark as charcoal, like a slate, very light slate grey. And it was just a very slim face, and it came up to just about the waist, and it was like it just went on and off. It was there and it was gone. To the lady that just showed herself, that was absolutely amazing. But can you do that again so the others can see you? Can you do that again? That was absolutely amazing. Very quick. It's definitely movement over by Daria. I'm not just saying it.
Okay.
I want to go back to where it is.
All right.
I saw it was about here. And I was short, so it was shorter than me. But this is where I was seeing movement. So to the spirit energy of the lady that appeared here, can you show yourself again so that the people at the table can see you? Because what you did was amazing. Can you do it again for us?
Is it you, Jackie?
What? Oh yeah.
Squeaking.
Yeah.
Is that because you'd stopped walking?
Oh, yeah, I'm over this side now,
I could
yeah.
hear squeaking stuff, so I didn't know were you moving your feet when I asked.
I've not moved my feet.
No, Jackie wasn't moving at all.
During one of the experiments, the team hears a loud scream from one of the upstairs rooms.
It was a weird night because there was things happening that we can't explain. And we was doing an experiment and I put my face to the noose and all of a sudden there was a loud scream. So the people that was there with us all heard, bar two, all heard that scream. So the scream to me, because I'm in the noose, came from my right hand side upstairs, which means it would have been Fanny Price's room. Now, not one camera, bearing in mind 5 of us heard the scream, 2 didn't. Not one camera picked up this scream, not one.
You should be able to put it that way, then got it tied right.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm sure I heard that.
Did you hear that?
That was so loud.
Why you were doing that?
Oh, it was upstairs.
Nothing's recorded, is it?
Did you hear it?
So loud.
Oh, you might. We've got a camera on upstairs actually. So
Did you hear it?
That was, yeah.
When we call out wherever we go, it's always that thing of do you get anything? Do you miss things? Wherever we've called out in the past, we've always managed to have some kind of interaction, and the Skirrid is never any different to that. We always manage to get something. This particular investigation, the wider group, not particularly me, but the wider group all heard a scream, so that was quite good that so many people heard that. And then there was other sort of little bangs and ticks and potentially bits of change being, like old-fashioned coins being sort of clapped together. But yeah, the really big one was, and it's always great when a big group of people hear it all at the same time, but the big one was the scream, but for whatever reason, I wasn't privy to that evening.
Moving on from table tipping, the team decides it's time to open the Ouija board in hope of contacting some of the spirits who reside at the Skirrid Inn.
When we opened up the board, it was doing what it normally does and it plays about and it builds the energy. And what's really interesting is that we've got audio and it's a actual voice phenomena that shouts something out, and then you can clearly hear a team member who's on the board say something that corresponds with what this other entity, this letter.
Are you a prisoner? If you're a prisoner, go to yes.
Just carbonate.
Okay. W.
W.
Yeah.
Yeah, W.
Point to the person. You can feel that in that
Yeah,
planchette now, can't you?
literally.
Come on, go to the person you want to talk to. Spell their name.
G.
Beginning with G. What's the next letter?
O.
Wherever this is going.
It's horrible. D.
God. Here we go again. Should we push it?
Why not?
We're here, let's do it.
You happy to push the board there? You sure?
Basically, because of how long Jackie's been investigating with another team as well as the South East Paranormal team that we set up, and just her experiences, there is one particular, I'll call him the Prince of Darkness, that we don't discuss, we don't talk about, but every so often we do run into him.
Are you one of the 7 princes?
This is going.
Spell your name.
B.
Give me your number.
That's between 3 and 4.
What's your next number?
Three.
Do you mind if I leave the table?
No.
Sorry.
That's all right. Come back to the centre. You have no right to be here, so we'll ask you respectfully to leave. And if there is another spirit that would like to communicate, please give us the first letter of your name.
No.
No? Okay. Come back to centre. You have no right to be here, so we ask you to step away and allow another spirit to communicate with us. So if there is another spirit that's happy to communicate, please give us the first letter of your name.
What is it?
It's in between the numbers and goodbye.
Goodbye and close the board down, Nick.
Goodbye. Back to centre. We thank the spirits that did join us. We now close this board and keep everybody safe in pure white light. I think the Ouija board was probably one of the better ones for some of the results that came through.
On watching the footage back, the camera, which we've tested the camera, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the camera, but there was interference. And what I've worked out, I'm not going to say I'm 100%, but what I've worked out is when you hear me talk on that board, there is no interference. But then it's like this interference builds up, and whenever this builds up, this voice appears. Now, what this voice is saying are clear and accurate interactions with the questions I'm asking. So that, as I said, is for us one of the best.
G.
What's interested me personally is you can clearly hear this same voice, and it's a gruff voice. So the voice reminded me of an old sailor. That's all I can say. It's like a proper gruff old voice. And he shouted out an initial. And then when you listen, there's another initial shouted out, which is G. Now, if we can prove that hanging George Jeffreys resided there as a judge, could that G be Judge Jeffreys? We don't know. But we've found a couple of times now when we've used the board that it looks like it's doing nothing. But then when we're reviewing the evidence, there's more in the review, because when you're looking at the board and it's making no sense, and then when you watch it back on playback, it's easier to look where it's going. So there was a lot of references that made sense with audio that we've got.
The morning after the investigation, the Skirrid Inn staff, shaken by their own encounters, approached the paranormal team with a request. In one of the rooms, they sensed an overwhelming presence of what they believed to be dark energy. Fearing for the well-being of future guests, they asked the investigators to conduct a purification ritual.
We ran into, on the Ouija board, a particular name that we weren't particularly comfortable with, and he's the one that we do try and keep away from and keep at bay and keep as far away as possible. One of the ladies that we were speaking to had said that they'd felt really uneasy, really uncomfortable when they were actually making the rooms up. Not for us particularly, but just in the past. So we did do a cleansing to remove as much sort of bad energy, negative energy as is physically possible.
I ask that this room be cleared of any negative energy, anything that resides in here. I'm asking you to leave this room in peace. May anyone that uses this room use it without fear of attack or any negativity. Amen.
The door open.
I ask that the Great Spirit release any negative energy in this room, that people can use it freely and safely, and any energy that resides, any demonic energy that resides in this cupboard, be released back into the realm from whence you came, and may this room be forever at peace. Amen.
Amen.
After a sleepless night of investigating, the team is ready to answer. Is the Skirrid Inn one of Britain's most haunted pubs?
It was a slow start, that investigation, where we was hoping for more physical activity. The activity came at us in the form of audio and, you know, what we captured on film and that. I have no doubt, absolutely no doubt whatsoever, that place is haunted, and I will keep going back until I actually capture a full apparition there. I know it's possible, it's just getting the right time to do it.
I think my conclusions are just as normal. It is haunted. I think we've always had some different interactions. We've always had like a thread that runs through, which is quite nice. We've had a couple of names that have come through that we've always managed to sort of interact with and get some activity from, as well as some new ones. So for me, I do feel it's haunted, and I do feel that it would be somewhere that people who have an interest in paranormal should definitely go. Try and go with an open mind, but go and investigate it for you.
I believe that the Skirrid Inn is one of the most haunted pubs in England. It deserves the title. It owns it. It's haunted. And if you don't believe me, go and stay there for one night.